Thank you, Daniel. It's fantastic to be here presenting to you, Claire. I'll share my screen. Let's get to it. I'm based in Brazil, São Paulo. My name is Andrews, and I'm building Decimals, which is Google Analytics for payments. Google Analytics is this tool that takes page clicks, and with 8 lines of code, you get 200 metrics. And what's the equivalence for payments data? Well, say you have a marketplace and you want to know the top 10 sellers in our platform. This data is available in the payments provider APIs, but today either you automate things and automate it and spend a few weeks of engineering, or you do it manually and someone will spend a couple of days a month. And you may have other questions as well, like what's the top currency your customers are using? What's the gross volume per store if you have more than one? And the list goes on and on. Well, Decimal solves this. With the 2 minutes, no code setup, we hook to the payments provider APIs and answer all of these questions. We start with marketplaces because that's where we found there is the biggest lack of tooling for companies actually. And we will expand further to integrate this data with other tools that also existing solutions are not doing a good job as well, and also expand to other verticals in the future. The goal here is actually to enable companies to use their payments data to actually generate intelligence, and that's mostly not being done today. So why we are building this now? So global retail, it's 5% online, and payment providers are really focused on enabling this shift and creating this platform where other businesses can be built on top. And Decimals is built on top of this payments platforms. So I helped build and scale products and teams before. And the project, as Daniel mentioned, started as a side project of mine. And by talking to company, I actually launched the Ledger product, but found this even bigger problem while talking to companies. And I went full-time mid last month, built the analytics product in 2 weeks. And right now we're launched and already have our first customer. So I expect to reach 1K MRR by the summer, and in the fall, we will be raising a pre-seed round. Right now, I'm looking for companies introductions and building investor relationships, and happy to take questions.
Fantastic. Well, great to meet you. This feels a little bit like an M&A pitch, or maybe it's not meant to be, but this is really exciting and definitely a pain point. Tell me more about the target customer. Like what size company, who do you think is adopting this product initially?
Yeah, right now I'm talking to companies that don't have a data team. So they don't have engineers dedicated to generate analytics. And mostly the marketing team is handling the analytics side. So they are downloading spreadsheets and trying to get something out of it.
So they probably don't have a very complex payment setup at that stage. So it's not like they're trying to look across, maybe they have multiple payment processors. It's actually more that they need an analytics solution, period, for their company. Yes?
Actually, I wouldn't agree completely, because you do have many vertical marketplaces emerging. And if you look at it, in the early stages, they can run on Stripe Connect, but getting these insights is important. And actually the first customer is a tutoring platform, and it's very complex from a payment standpoint, and the team is very small. Yep. And these guys are trying to take some insights out, and it's being pretty hard.
But the value proposition is really data analytics and insights on your core business metrics, which you basically derive from a lot of the payments information, right?
Yeah. And that's by vertical, which is very different. If you look at different verticals, marketplaces is very, very different from a tutoring platform or depending on the vertical, you have different metrics to be derived.
Right. So what if some of the metrics that are critical to the company are not related to monetization or payment? Are you capturing those?
No, right now, we are really focusing on the payments data, because if you look at other metrics, analytics, like Google Analytics is doing a good job, and there are other interesting tools out there. But for payments, it's really even Segment, they can't connect the payments data to other tools. They only let you store in a database. So it's there's a huge gap for getting this data to something useful right now.
So to what tools are you connecting the payments data that's most?
Yeah, right now we are just generating the analytics. So my goal for this summer is to actually integrate with CRM tools, which is
Yeah.
something like companies want to see. There's the nice integration of Stripe with Intercom, and that's like amazing. And like we should have that for other like more CRM tools like Salesforce or HubSpot.
And do you think, and again, same theme of the day for me, how does the implementation and integration of this work? How much do I feel like I'm controlling my data versus Decimals is seeing my data?
Yeah, so to generate this metadata, we have to store it, but
Yes.
like doing everything in the highest security possible, because I have experience building PCI compliant software and
Okay.
all the
Well, there's compliance, which
infrastructure.
is actually separate from being secure.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. This is you have to do the best, but yeah, actually, definitely, compliance doesn't mean secure. So yeah, I have experience building like payments infrastructure. I know how much sensitive, how sensitive the data should be beyond compliance safe.
So you're storing metadata of
Yeah.
all of your customers.
Yes. Yes. Right.
That's a big responsibility to take on.
Yes, it
But
is.
you're giving them a lot of value, especially early. And it sounds like they're probably earlier stage or marketplaces that just haven't scaled that part of the team, that are their
Yes.
capabilities, right?
Yes, and that's the goal. Start
What's the
like
biggest pain
get.
point? You said you're looking for company introductions, investors. Anything you need to
Yeah.
solve, or is it just
No, right
traction?
now mostly like I'm talking to as many companies as possible to like actually get a better understanding of the problem. Like I have spoken with quite a few of them, but the biggest like scale problem right now is actually finding more companies like the ones we are talking to,
Yeah.
and investors should come later, but that's the main goal right now.
Yeah, I think the angle that you started to talk about early on is one I would pursue, which is marketing teams that are looking to follow the marketing dollar to the transaction and prove ROI. Because I think what's going on is you could be solving a lot of problems and you need to start with a wedge. And that's one that I could imagine be pretty popular.
Yeah, that's
Just a
great.
thought.
Well, that was awesome. Claire, thank you so much. The feedback was great. Message heard on the data. We're internally at Pioneer will now start wondering if we're collecting too much data. No, but more seriously, your energy was as bright as the room. Thank you again.